What I would like to first ask you is about the terror attacks against Shia Muslims in Pakistan. Do you think the government is doing enough to protect against terror?
Okay. First of all, these attacks are despicable, they're condemnable, and they are obviously going at the heart of threatening the very social fabric and the survival of Pakistan. Now, clearly, if you lose lives, then there's more that needs to be done. So when you say, is the government doing enough, I can just say that we have a deep, abiding commitment to do whatever is at our disposal. This includes, of course, as was the demand of the relatives of those who were killed. And you know that there has been a series of such attacks. So these are all planned attacks for a certain purpose. That we first of all go and apprehend these terrorists, because I can call them nothing else. Anyone who attacks innocent people can be nothing but terrorists. And then we are able to give them protection, and then of course that we do whatever we can to ensure that such incidents do not take place. So this will require a lot of comprehensive work that would need to go into all of this. Yeah.
Now, one of the demands of the protesters on this latest attack was to remove one of the local ministers, and your government did do that. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, the demand was to change the chief minister, because they found him to be inaptitude for the job, and then of course a few other demands on enforcing what is called governor's rules to have better and stricter, more stringent administration, so that these elements cannot go on scot-free. So those demands have been met, because whereas political process is extremely important to us, what is even more important is the protection of life, and each one of these lives is an important life. And I want to share with you, Pamela, that interestingly, Pakistan, unlike many other countries within the Muslim world, I'm encouraged to say was, but I will say is still a country where being Shia or Sunni does not define you. Where, for instance, when I went to school, I did not know which girl in my school or which boy in my school was Shia and which was Sunni. In the workplace, you typically don't know who's Shia, who's Sunni. So we are a country which, was in some ways a melting pot of all ethnicities, and where it did not matter. You could prosper, you could be promoted, you will be as, and 1 in every Pakistani, 1 in 5 of every Pakistani happens to be a Shia. So we are very committed to ensuring that Pakistan nobody is able to infuse this discontent and hatred and just killing within Pakistan. And we are very, very committed, and we do not justify these actions in any way. By justifying these actions, I mean to say that we do not justify why something like this would be allowed to happen. We take full responsibility for it, and we say that we commit to ensuring that we are able to do whatever is at our disposal, whatever is within our power, to make sure that these incidents don't take place in the future.
Now, you said something interesting. This kind of division, Shia-Sunni, had not been existent. To what do you attribute this? Does this have anything to do with troubles in Afghanistan, to Taliban? Where is the terrorism coming
Pamela, it's
from?
interesting, because if you were to see the changing, where did the course of the smooth flowing river, for instance, if you want to look at the nation state as that of Pakistan, changed its course? It was really after the conflict in Afghanistan, after the Soviet invasion. And because Pakistan's territory was used to give arms and ammunition, and because Pakistan's territory was also used to, more than arms and ammunition, give the ideological weapons, extremist ideological weapons of the mind to these people, since then it has never been the same, and the Kalashnikovs and the narcotics and the ideological extremism that was spread to rid us of the Soviet invasion in Afghanistan left a lasting impression within this region. And since then, this entire region has suffered from extremist mindset, and therefore what we fight in some ways is a bigger problem. And wherever you have terrorist entities, then it becomes a melting pot of criminals, of terrorists, etc. all together. And then people use this as an opportunity to create more divisions, to create more fault lines, and this is obviously a clearly and clearly an effort to create those fault lines.
And so part of the terrorism in Pakistan is really attributable to both Afghanistan wars, the Russian withdrawal and
unfortunately,
the current
yes, because prior to 2001, we had one suicide bomb attack in Pakistan. After 2001, we've had a plethora. I do not even know the number. Okay, so 285 bombs in 2 years, I think. Suicide bomb in 2 or 3 years. And you know that we've lost 30,000 civilians to these suicide bomb attacks and other attacks. You know that we've lost 6,000 paramilitary, military, security agency forces to those. So the sacrifices which have been asked of us are far too many in some ways. But we hope that as institutions grow stronger in Pakistan, as the national will demonstrates itself more clearly to allow not these perpetrators an extra day, we'll be able to take even more aggressive action, because this would require a combination of what we call the 3D strategy that President Zardari introduced as he came into power. This was development, deterrence, and dialogue. So development, dialogue, and deterrence in this sequence. So whereas dialogue is extremely important, whereas development is extremely important, but deterrence is also important. So you cannot allow these people or afford these people the opportunity to continue to go around their business freely without taking very strong and serious action against them.